Lord have mercy. The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Excuse me, brother. Miss...
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
He making deep with Jackie Chan with that Rush Hour making 20 million. So I wouldn't go back to Friday either.
What happened to the comedy classic Friday that made it stop airing? Was it because of a scene that went too far? What was so controversial that it caused such a big reaction? If you're curious about the infamous moment that got the Friday movie taken off the air, let's dive into the story behind it.
I steal for my mama before I mess with your shit. And you know this, man.
Friday is a funny movie that came out in 1995. It shows what happens during one day in the lives of two friends, Craig and Smokey. They live in a neighborhood where people talk, laugh, and sometimes get into trouble. Craig, played by Ice Cube, just got fired from his job, and Smokey, played by Chris Tucker, is a fun and crazy guy who loves to joke around.
Hey, man, get off me, man. Get off me, man. Get off me, man. Goddamn.
The movie had a great cast, including Nia Long,
Smokey, I am not trying to look at that girl's booty, all right?
Bernie Mac,
Lord have mercy. The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Excuse me, brother. Miss...
John Witherspoon,
I smelled your shit for 22 years. Now you can't smell mine for 5 minutes.
Regina King,
I was in there on the phone with Debbie and what's up with Rita?
Rita who?
Rita that's gonna be here at 7:30.
Tiny Zeus Lister Jr., and Faizon Love as the unforgettable Big Worm.
I don't think you applying yourself, Smokey.
Huh?
The movie is all about what they do on this one Friday. They hang out, talk about life, and deal with people around them. People quoted lines from the movie everywhere, at work, at school, and just hanging out. It became a cultural phenomenon among Black communities, so much so that not watching it felt like you were out of the loop. But not everyone agreed about Friday. Some critics, like Gene Siskel, said it was just a shallow movie about life in the hood. He called it a dull comic yarn and thought it didn't show real depth. Others felt it fed into stereotypes about African-American neighborhoods, focusing on things like drug use and unemployment.
Adi, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Here's the thing, though. Friday was never about being deep. It was about showing a different side of life in the hood, a funny, relatable, and human side. At the time, most movies about the hood were intense dramas like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and New Jack City. These films showed the hard truths of inner city life, but they also leaned heavily on negative stereotypes. Drug addicts were often shown as hopeless, scary people. Drug dealers were heartless villains. These movies had important messages, but they also made people from these neighborhoods look like they were all about violence and despair. Friday changed that. The characters weren't just stereotypes. They were people with personalities. Take Azal, for example. He was a homeless addict, but he was also funny and part of the neighborhood's fabric. He hustled and joked, making him more than just a crackhead stereotype. Compare him to characters in other movies, and you'll see how unique he was.
And you know how much money you can get for a slip and fall in the store? And you need to stay off that crack, man. Get out. Man, you wrong, brother.
Then there's Big Worm, the neighborhood drug dealer. Sure, he was ruthless, but he was also funny and colorful. With his rollers in his hair and his ice cream truck on fancy wheels, he was a memorable character who stood out. He was more than just a villain. He had personality and humor. The movie's humor and humanity made it stand apart from the darker hood dramas. It showed that even in tough neighborhoods, there's laughter, love, and a sense of community. For many Black viewers, Friday wasn't just entertainment. It was a reflection of their world, full of joy and struggles alike. Sure, not everyone got it. Some people, especially those outside these communities, might have missed the point. But for those who grew up in neighborhoods like the one in Friday, the movie was a breath of fresh air. It celebrated their culture while giving them something to laugh about.
What changed?
Yeah, what changed?
The characters weren't caricatures. They were relatable and real. Chris Tucker gave a legendary performance as Smokey, making audiences laugh with his unforgettable lines and energy. Ice Cube, who co-wrote the movie, also delivered a great performance. balancing the humor with a sense of calm. Take the bathroom scene with Ice Cube's character, Craig, and his dad, played by John Witherspoon. Craig's dad barges in, ignoring boundaries, and says, "I smelled your shit for 22 years. You can smell mine for 5 minutes." That's the kind of humor many black families could relate to. Parents who didn't care about privacy and always reminded you of the sacrifices they made.
Come on, I smelled your shit for 22 years. Now you can't smell mine for 5 minutes.
Even the scene Siskel didn't like, where an older woman curses, wasn't just about shock value. It was poking fun at the hypocrisy of churchgoers and highlighting the boldness of older black women in the community. These details made the movie feel authentic and real to those who understood the culture. Director F. Gary Gray did an incredible job with Friday, especially since it was his first feature film. He had to juggle a large cast of big personalities, and he did it so well. The editing kept the movie tight and focused, letting every scene add to the story without dragging. Gray's directing style gave the film its unique, confident tone.
But OG said, take your little ass in the house. My big homie just got out.
One big moment came with the song Friday from the soundtrack of the movie Friday. Some of Ice Cube's fans who loved his hardcore rap style didn't like this lighter, more fun track. They thought it didn't match his usual image. Even Ice Cube admitted the song caused a bit of controversy. He said, "It sparked a little controversy within my crew." But this wasn't the first time people questioned his choices. Remember his hit song, Today Was a Good Day? The video for that track was directed by F. Gary Gray, the same person who directed the movie Friday. Fans had a similar reaction to this song. They asked, "Why is a hardcore rapper singing about having a good day?" Ice Cube had a simple answer. "I'm a reality rapper. Sometimes I really do have good days and I want to rap about the truth." The criticism didn't stop there. When Ice Cube decided to act on Friday, people again raised eyebrows. They said, "You're a serious hardcore guy. Why are you doing comedy and laughing?" Ice Cube's response was pure honesty. "I'm a real person. I like to have fun like everybody else." It must have been frustrating for Ice Cube to feel boxed in, like people wanted him to only be one thing. He said, "I would love to get credit for just being an entertainer who's good at multiple things." He didn't want people judging him for trying to make others smile or feel happy. "What's wrong with making the kids happy?" he asked. "It's ridiculous."
I make $2,200.
Now, actor Faizon Love made headlines when he shared how much he got paid for his role as Big Worm in the movie. He revealed he only earned $2,500 for the part. This sparked a lot of talk about how actors, especially in low-budget films, are paid. Many fans started questioning if Ice Cube, who co-wrote and produced the movie, was being fair to the cast.
And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you gotta pay editors and sound people in.
However, Faizon Love quickly spoke out to defend Ice Cube. He made it clear there was no bad blood between them and that he had no regrets about taking the role. On Instagram, Faizon posted a message saying, "First of all, I not only consider Ice Cube a comrade, but my brother, and I'm still a fan. I think he's one of the greatest artists ever." He added that the $2,500 pay was just part of the deal, and that he was grateful to be part of such an iconic movie. Ice Cube also stepped in to clear things up. He explained that Friday was a low-budget movie, costing only $2.3 million to make, and they shot it in just 20 days. Ice Cube added that Faizon worked only 1 or 2 days on set, which explains the paycheck. Cube shared on Twitter, all the actors got paid scale to do the movie. They could have simply said no, but they didn't. Other actors from the franchise also defended Ice Cube. Comedian Michael Blackson said on Twitter, "Ice Cube is not to blame for us getting paid so little. It's the film industry's pay scale." He shared that he made $800 a day for his role in Next Friday. Now, before John Witherspoon passed away in an interview, he gave his own thoughts on this. Witherspoon said he only got paid $5,000 for his role, and most of the cast got about the same.
The movie cost $2 million.
$2 million. We got paid $5,000 a piece to do that movie.
Even Ice Cube, who wrote and produced the movie with DJ Pooh, didn't make as much as he could have. The movie ended up making $300 million.
Ice Cube was going to put up the money himself.
Right.
But New Line Cinema talked him out of it.
They said, look, ain't no sense you losing $2 million. If the movie bomb, we just take the hit. The movie grow $300 million.
He could have gotten off.
Chris Tucker, who played Smokey, was a fan favorite. His jokes and energy made the movie unforgettable. But by the time they wanted to make the next Friday movie, Chris Tucker was already a big star. He had done movies like Money Talks and started working on the Rush Hour series with Jackie Chan. In Rush Hour, he was making $20 million per movie. Compared to what he made for Friday, it's easy to see why he didn't come back. Money wasn't the only reason, though. Chris Tucker also became more religious. He didn't like the idea of promoting things like smoking weed, which was a big part of Smokey's character. People close to him, like preachers, advised him to stay away from roles that didn't match his new lifestyle. John understood why Chris didn't return. If I was making $20 million with Jackie Chan, I wouldn't go back to Friday either, he joked. The money and fame Chris Tucker got from Rush Hour changed his career, and he didn't look back.
He making deep with Jackie Chan with that Rush Hour, making $20 million. I wouldn't go back to Friday either.
So that was it.
Fans still love the original Friday. Many believe it had a special magic that the sequels couldn't match. John Witherspoon agreed, saying the first movie had something real and funny about it. We ad-libbed a lot, he said, meaning they made up jokes on the spot. That gave the movie its unique charm. There was talk about making a fourth Friday movie called Last Friday. Fans were excited about the idea of bringing Chris Tucker back, but John Witherspoon didn't think it would happen. He said, "Everyone's older now, and we've got bigger responsibilities. Plus, the budget would be way higher than $2 million because the actors aren't struggling like they were back then."
That company claims to understand the business that I'm in, but they continue to ignore, dismiss, or actually sell away the projects that I'm a part of. So
now, talking about creating a fourth movie in the series. Ice Cube has been trying to do that, but Warner Bros., who owns the rights to the Friday franchise, won't let him have control. During an interview on Mike Tyson's Hot Boxin' podcast, he shared his feelings. "They messed it up," he said. He explained that Warner Bros. Has the power to decide what happens with the movies, and they are not willing to hand over control.
Projects to other places who are willing to do the movies and, understands my brand. We've had a great time at places like Universal.
They don't know what they're doing, Ice Cube said about Warner Brothers. He believes they should give him the rights so he can move forward with the project. He added, "It's my movie, but they control where and how it's released. We'd love to get it back, but we're stuck waiting for now." When someone asked if Ice Cube would buy the rights back, his answer was strong. "No way, they should give it to me. It's my creation, and they'll still make money. Why should I pay for something I made?" He believes Warner Brothers needs to let him and his team take over so they can make fans happy with a new movie. For now, Ice Cube hopes Warner Brothers will do the right thing and give him control.
They've given away some of my biggest movies like Ride Along. They didn't see me and Kevin Hart as being a star and bona fide box office.
Fans of the Friday series are waiting to see if the fourth movie will ever be made.
They finally came to their senses. So hopefully we can get in the process of getting that movie made.
Fans of the Friday movie series have been waiting a long time for the fourth film, Last Friday. The excitement about a new movie started in 2017 when actor John Witherspoon, who played Pops in the films, revealed that the project was officially greenlit. That's when things started to heat up. But as usual with Hollywood, things didn't move as quickly as fans expected. In 2017, DJ Pooh, one of the key people behind the movie, mentioned in an interview that he was working on Last Friday with Ice Cube. By 2018, Cube shared that they were still in the writing phase of the script. He said they wanted to make sure the movie would be ahead of the curve and not rushed or outdated. He hoped to start filming by the end of 2018. Around that same time, Mike Epps, who plays Day Day, posted a teaser photo and video on Instagram with Ice Cube, sparking rumors that the movie was finally in production. By 2019, Ice Cube gave an update, saying the script was done and he hoped the movie would be ready for the 25th anniversary of the original Friday movie in 2020. However, fans were disappointed when the film didn't come out that year. Ice Cube kept working on the project, saying that he and DJ Pooh were rewriting parts of the movie. Then in October 2019, the Friday family suffered a big loss when John Witherspoon passed away. His death left many fans wondering what would happen to his character, Pops, in the new film. Ice Cube was very open about his frustration, blaming New Line Cinema for not fully committing to making the movie while Witherspoon was still alive.
You want another Friday?
If they do it, I would. You know,
Okay.
because I talked to Cube and he talked to Warner Brothers and said they're gonna do it. They're up for it.
Yeah?
He said the movie was on hold after Witherspoon's death, but he was still hopeful about getting it back on track soon. A year later, in December 2020, Tommy Lister Jr., who played Debo in the Friday films, also passed away. Actress Angela Means, who played the character of Felicia, said on a podcast that the movie was canceled. Ice Cube didn't hold back his feelings. He criticized Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema for not continuing the franchise and said that they had let our legends die. Despite this, other actors like Clifton Powell still held out hope, hoping that the film would eventually be made and that it would include tributes to both Witherspoon and Lister. By May 2021, Ice Cube revealed that he had written 2 potential scripts for Last Friday. One script would focus on Craig and Day Day trying to survive in prison after their cannabis dispensary was stolen by a flash mob. The other script would have focused on a love story. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers rejected both scripts due to creative differences, which was another setback for the film. In 2022, Ice Cube shared another update on a podcast, saying that while actor Chris Tucker, who played Smokey, was uncertain about returning for the film, he and Tucker were still on good terms. Ice Cube also confirmed that the scripts had been rejected by Warner Brothers, which owns the rights to the movie series.
My fans love the movie so much, they always bring it up. I said, well, if they come to me with a great script, great idea, I'll definitely consider it. But I said, it's been so long ago, and that character became such a great character.
But finally, in June 2024, Ice Cube announced some good news. On Flavor Flav's show, Flavor of the Week, Ice Cube said that Last Friday was still in the works at Warner Brothers and that the film had gained some momentum. After so many years of waiting, fans are finally starting to believe that the movie might really happen. While there's no official release date yet, the fact that Last Friday is still in the works gives fans hope that the next chapter in the Friday series might be closer than ever. Stay tuned because the story isn't over just yet. Now let's talk about the behind the scenes. Did you know the movie Friday almost didn't get made the way we know it today? Ice Cube and DJ Pooh had to convince New Line Cinema to give their idea a chance. They used the indie comedy Clerks as an example to show how the movie could work with a small cast, one main location, and a low budget. At one point, they even thought about filming it in black and white to save money. The tone of the movie was inspired by another comedy, House Party.
And the legend of the tramp begins. The party host with the most, giving you a dose, see? Leave it.
Ice Cube and DJ Pooh wanted Friday to have that same fun and relatable vibe. When New Line agreed to make the film, they let Ice Cube choose the director. He picked up Gary Gray, a music video director he had worked with before. Cube liked that Gray grew up in a similar neighborhood to the one in the movie. He thought Gray would really understand the story. At first, Gray wasn't sure he wanted his first movie to be a comedy, but he eventually said yes and even made a cameo in the movie. He played the liquor store worker who watches Ezal, played by Anthony Johnson, fake a fall to scam the store.
How much money you can get for a slip and fall in the store? And you need to stay off that crack, man. Get out. Man,
DJ Pooh, who co-wrote the movie, was supposed to play Smokey. But New Line wanted a more experienced actor for the part, so they gave it to Chris Tucker. Pooh ended up playing the character Red instead. Fun fact, other comedians like Chris Rock and Tommy Davidson were also considered for Smokey. But Tucker nailed the role, adding his own funny lines to the movie. It made him a star, though he never returned for any of the Friday sequels.
I'll steal from my mama before I mess with your shit. And you know this, man.
The movie we see in theaters starts by introducing Craig Jones, Ice Cube, and his family. But the extended version of the movie shows some side characters first. For example, it includes a scene of Debo sleeping in a garage and another where two kids see Ezal running down the street with stolen speakers. There's also a funny moment where Stanley sprays water at kids to keep them off his lawn. Another behind-the-scene fact was that late Michael Clark Duncan, who later became famous for The Green Mile and Armageddon, was there as a background extra. You can spot him during the black and white flashback when Red confronts Debo about his bike. He wasn't credited, but it's fun to see where his career started. Megan Good, who was just 13 years old at the time, also appeared in Friday. She played Kid 2, one of the children Smokey pushes aside while talking to Big Worm at the ice cream truck.
Huh? Don't you see we handling grown folks' business?
Megan's career took off after that, and she landed a role in the TV show Moshe the next year. Director F. Gary Gray didn't have to look far for a perfect location. The movie was filmed in his old neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles. The houses you see in the movie belonged to people he knew. In fact, Gray's childhood home was used for the flashback where Debo knocks out Pooh over a bike. It added a personal touch to the film.
When the second one, they should never move out the neighborhood. Stayed in.
Yeah.
It should have been right there.
Yeah, it should have been in the same neighborhood.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The filming took place on 126th Street between Halldale and Normandy. It only took 20 days to shoot the whole movie. South Central Los Angeles wasn't the safest place to film. To avoid trouble, the cast and crew were told not to wear red. This was because the Crips gang in the area wore blue, and red could start problems. This is why most of the characters in the movie wear blue. Smokey has a blue shirt and hat, Debo wears a blue plaid shirt, and even smaller roles like Megan Good's character wear blue. It was a smart way to keep everyone safe. Not everyone was happy about the movie being filmed there. In one flashback scene, Smokey smokes angel dust with Hector and his friend. Two men sitting on a wall in the background weren't extras. They were locals who refused to leave.
It's angel dust, Holmes.
So I hit it real hard, right?
The filmmakers tried to pay them for walk-on roles, but the men refused. They stayed in the shot anyway, and the crew had no choice but to keep filming. Did you notice that Ice Cube wore a special outfit in the movie, and that outfit had a connection to another movie? At the beginning and end of the film, Craig is wearing the same clothes his character Doughboy wore at the end of Boys in the Hood. These clothes include cut-off khaki shorts, a dark green t-shirt, and dark slippers. The rest of Craig's outfit, a black and white plaid shirt, dark pants, and black Nikes, also has a connection. Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., wore the same outfit in Straight Outta Compton when he played a younger version of his dad. Friday showed a side of Black life that wasn't about pain or struggle, but about humor, relationships, and everyday moments. It wasn't trying to be a big statement about life in the hood, and that's what made it special. It was real, relatable, and unforgettable. For those who didn't get it, maybe they just didn't have the context to understand. But for the people who did, Friday will always be a classic,